bottom. I love him so much with all my heart and my soul. With every bone in my body, I love him so much because he's the
first issue of The Red Couch, the meeting room online. Our first guest, actually, to start this off properly, is Amanda Masuku. She's a chef, she's an entrepreneur, Mrs. Vintage Flags herself. Welcome.
What planet are you from, girl? And are there others like you there? And could you do that magic trick again? Popping up from nowhere. Though my planet's full.
And with that being said, I've been looking around and scouting and seeing who would be a fitting first interview, and I think what you're doing is quite amazing, because not only do you do cooking and are you a chef, but you also do a bit of choreography and you do something with the kids as well. Tell us about that.
First and foremost, I do Latin and ballroom dance.
Okay.
That's foremost my first talent, or I could say my first love in anything that I've tried to achieve. In being a child, I was just this weird child.
How were you talking? Like you
I was just always wondering why I couldn't fit in any group, and why is it that I always wanted to be in a quiet space on my own.
Yeah.
So I could tell from that age that my mind needed stimulation. So how I got it was for me to play boss lady, you know, taking my dad's files and laptops and pretending like I'm in the office or doing whatever. But anyway, by luck and by God's grace, I stumbled into a sport, which is Latin and ballroom dancing. I've been doing it since I was 8.
8 years old, imagine. And that's a long time, actually. And how old are you now? Just if you don't mind me asking.
I'm 25 years old.
Okay. That's a couple of years.
Yeah, 25 years old.
Okay, all right. So right now, where are you in terms of business?
Dancer. I've received national colors, and I have credentials in Gauteng for being one of their best dancers. I've also represented TUT.
Oh, okay.
Which was Duval Park, my former primary school.
Yeah.
So it was home there. It was God's plan in the first place.
Exactly.
So I got in there. I got some kids. I think I had about 12 girls. To say, no, do you think you were...
In essence, it was you sowing a seed, and at the same time you were reaping the benefits because you were getting the support, the exposure as well. So you had to start somewhere with it, basically.
Exactly. So now I was in the business, it was in a few months.
Okay, we have a little something here, and this was done with makeup.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't have to say much, you see it. Pure talent.
Basically, my whole business is about conceptualizing one's imagination.
And I'm seeing it's catering.
It's an inspiration.
Tell us about this. What inspires you when a client comes to you and they tell you, listen, I have to plan a wedding, I want to get married in 9 months.
Let's begin with what my name, what my business name means.
Okay. Got ahead of myself. I got excited seeing all these weddings.
Well, the name Vintage Flags in its own, I happened to study fashion design, and the era that stuck with me was Vintage Flags. I felt so related to it in a sense, because my grandmother was a woman who had just like this taste of style, and she was beautiful. You would, at that time,
I can imagine.
She was a yellow girl at
can
that
see,
time.
I can
I'm
see.
doing nothing. She has long.
Oh, okay. She had a her.
You know, but she was really a crafts person. She would like just take a material and make it into a garment on her own.
Yeah.
And with that, I was a really sentimental person, so I took everything within me as I grew up, and sort of like crafted in this art and this person that I have become. So within vintage, for me, you think something that's like striking, that's like mind-blowing, timeless. You know, it raises a question, like vintage what? Like what is the meaning of this vintage? And flags is like, flags is a symbol of festivity. Like when a flag is raised up, like everybody raises up a question. What's really the occasion? Yeah. And that's it. And then I'll just tell you the occasion. It's private events, you have business events, you have business breakfast, you have whatever that you want.
Birthdays for kids as well?
That interlinks with fashion, yes.
Okay.
I mean, that interlinks with events.
Oh, alright.
As well as cooking, because all of these umbrellas that I have within my business, they interlink. For an event to happen, you need to have catering service. For a catering service to happen, you need to have an event. And in most cases, or in some cases, you need a makeup service for those things. So I come with that package. This is what I can do with my time. So
you want anything and everything under one umbrella, you have it going on?
I try to make it in that way because I'm a very complex person. That's why I struggled in varsity to stay in one field. Because I wanted to delve
interest in everything.
1, 2, 3.
So now just to, before we get ahead of ourselves, just give us a breakdown of what you've done so far.
Well, I started my business 3 years ago. And then it was progressing very slowly, but in every event that I did, I make sure that I create a portfolio. I go for the product, I go for the right look for it, I go for the proper presentation of what my business is about, and it's starting to grow gradually. So with that, I had an opportunity to be hired. Well, firstly, I sort of decided to put myself out there because money was low and do social markets. Okay. And then I cooked on my first one that landed me an interview with Amanda Masuku FM.
Okay.
I did that interview to promote my business as well, so things started to just come together in that sense. And then with my third social market, I sold out all my plates.
Wow.
That was
so your food is that good? It's that good?
And that was an achievement for me. And a particular customer who happened to work at Smoky Mountain, who was waitressing there, happened to go to the same church as me. So at that particular day, Sunday, he was like,
I'm getting a pattern here. God has been involved in the progression.
Everywhere. He's like,
God has been involved.
My number one event coordinator. Like I live my life through events. Like I've been in events. I've danced. You know, I've lived in a stage life. I've been a normal child. I've been that weird kid. I've been that bullied girl.
Introvert, extrovert, everything put together. So you embody all these things, and now taking it back to your vision and your artistry. Looking at what you're doing currently, where do you think or where do you see yourself? Let's not say years, because years, people have this thing whereby when you say years, they think maybe it's far off. Let's be practical. In the next couple of months, what is your systematic projection of where you would be and what you'll be doing?
Well, at the moment, like I said, being at the social markets opened the door for me to actually now being an actual chef and an actual catering assistant in a business establishment, in like an office park. I got that opportunity through social market. And then I got hired there for event coordination job actually. And then by default I got the chef's job. He happened to have an opportunity somewhere else. So I jumped into it and I decided to do both because at the end, I mean, looking at it, I have an events company and a catering company. So I needed to just see if I get an opportunity and a platform.
It's exposure.
To exercise what I'm saying I want to do and what I want to give people as a product. So with God and His grace, I was able to get a platform. I even have the freedom to cook whatever I feel like. You know what I mean? I had the opportunity to change the menu, to produce my style of cooking and what I think people should enjoy and
add a piece of you in what you do.
So at this moment, I'm still living within that moment. I really want to settle in and breathe because I've been looking to get something that's stable, like a stable income. So you can take care of your bills and your kid and everything.
Off camera, we spoke about your vision of having your own little place whereby you teach your art classes at the same time there's food and catering going on. Where would you like to see yourself in terms of that? How big do you want to do? You want to franchise it? Do you want to have it as personal as possible, as something for Emalahleni, or do you want to expand or keep it local?
Well, in terms of growth, where I would like to see my business go is I really want to explore all the challenges that is to do with events. Like this industry is so broad, but it's open to only a little people and people that are really connecting the dots as to how I can interlink making food and creating an event at the same time. So if I could have a space where entrepreneurs and creatives and designers could have a platform to interact, exchange business, a place where it can be like an exhibition space at every month where an artist has an opportunity to just exhibit their work and say what they are doing and what they're all about.
All right.
And at that place, he'll be doing her own thing and I'll be coming in as an event coordinator to make sure everything goes according to plan, and I provide a cooking service for that. And then with dancing, obviously, that would be just bringing back and giving back to the community with teaching art as well, because you don't realize with these small things that people don't really grasp mostly, especially us and black people. They think living in your imagination and your consciousness derails you to existing in the real world, where hence some people, that's where really they strive. Like in my case, I think I was fortunate for me to do art.
Young nigga preach, 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 preach. Young nigga preach, 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 preach.